Good Monday morning to you all. I didn't do much recording over the weekend, and to be fair, there's also not a great deal of sort of how-tos in this video, and that's predominantly down to the fact that I've fallen a little bit behind and I need to catch up, so I'm just sort of cracking on with it. But I'm trying to pick the camera up as and when I remember. So a couple of little updates to run through with you guys. First thing is I bought this hot water boiler. It's a gas boiler from Truma, and I can't use it. Basically the boiler, I thought there would be a pipe between the boiler and the flue, yeah, so I could position the boiler nicely in the garage and have my flue go to the outlet on the side of the van. Unfortunately on this boiler it has to go right up against the van because part of the outlet on it needs to meet the wall of the van. So we're not going to use that, we're going to return that, and I'm going to put in a 12 volt water heater. I found one, it's 10 litres, it uses 9 amp hours to go from 15 degrees to 65, so that's about 10% battery capacity. And as I said previously, you know, I have set that up so another battery could easily be added, but I mean 10% for a full tank of hot water is not a problem. This has been charging up more than 10% just in one day, so I'm not too concerned about that. I have also done the majority of the doors. I've done the ones here, the ones here, I've got the end panel on here, and I've also did the light underneath here. In fact, we could get some more light going in here now. There's lights everywhere. That's better, you can see me. It is really starting to take shape now. I've got the two main doors on here. This section I got to do 2 end panels to line up with the frames here. And as I said before, the bottom section, I'm just doing a pull-out drawer. I'm going to put like carpet underneath so it slides nice. It's not going to be on any runners, rollers. It's just going to be a box that you can pull out. It'll have a frontal on it so it'll look like it's matching the cabinet, but you'll be able to pull it out, and I might even try and just put like a removable lid on that so stuff could still be stored in it. Then you got the oven, then you got the drawers, so that's something I'm going to get done in the next day or two. I've still got the reveal to do around this window. That is now completely finished. I've redone the pipes so that the 15mm BSP flexible hoses come into the garage area. Now I trust household plumbing. It's push fits I'm not used to working with. I always solder. But with the leak I did find what the problem was. So I was using this little device. It's a push fit 12mm that side and an 1/2 inch BSP thread that side. And the problem is actually this rim here. It's too thin, and what's happening is when you're putting your flexi hose onto it, there's obviously a rubber gasket inside that, but because this is so thin, it's slicing the rubber, thus breaking the seal and causing the leaks. I tried some brand new ones, put new seals in, tried doing it a bit softer, and it was still leaking, so I tightened it and I felt it literally just cut the rubber, so not working. What I have found is John Guest also do that particular part, but it's a plastic part, but also where the end of the thread is, it's a good sort of 2mm bevel all the way around, so it's not going to cut into the rubber, it's going to butt up nice to the rubber. So I'll put those parts in our Amazon shop, so if you need to find them, they're there. So first thing this morning's job is going to be do these door cards. They've been sat there a while, and I haven't particularly been putting them off, they just haven't been that important. So what I've done is I've got my width and my height measurement, which will only give me a rectangle. So I'm going to cut that first, and then we'll do all the corners and cutouts for things like this, the catch up top, and then we can get those carpeted and fitted. Got my first board down. Track saws already set up to cut my first piece of the morning, so that's what I'm gonna do. Get the 2 door cards done, do the reveal on that rear window, because I do want to get that bed slatted up now so it's ready, because that should be the rear section completely done, other than what I need to do in the garage in terms of the water system and the gas. Right, let's go. Okay, that's the door card itself scribed to the door, so I got the bits down bottom. That's where you allow the door to open past the 90 top corner. So on this one is for the near side door here. Wasn't too bad actually, that's taken me about 15-20 minutes. So my next job now is going to be to carpet this. Right, that's the face side done. So what I'll do now is use the trimmers to go around. I like it to overlap a little bit and make sure these sort of sides are covered nicely, and I've got enough to sort of go around here. So we'll trim this, glue it around the edges, and that one's done, ready for fitting. Right, I'll get that done and show you when that's finished. And that's one door card fitted. It's not bad. This one's missing the cap here. It should look like that. But I'll have a look later, see if we can find that. So now that one's done, that's nice and sweet. I'm happy with that one. I think we'll get on to the other side, get that done, and then do this reveal. And that's door card number 2 done. That one was a bit more fiddlier because of the handle on it. Done the reveal of the window and framed it, so that's looking good. And I've carpeted that last bit up on the top. So I think that's pretty much everything done on the rear for now. I think we're gonna head back to the front. So I think we're gonna get on with the kitchen. I still got to make the 2 doors for these, but I haven't had the edging tape. That's due later today. I also got to trim this section because we don't like that finish.
Start heating.
Good morning, Wednesday morning. And didn't record anything yesterday, didn't do a massive amount in there, but we will go have a quick look in a second on what we did get done. But today's jobs, we're going to be running the water pipes over to the sink as well as the gas pipe to the oven area, because it's all about getting the kitchen done today. I've done the step box, that's just the lid there. That's the shelf that the oven is going to sit on, and then I've just got like my gas pipe clips. We're also going to do some gas drop vents, and I've also got these little vents. These are going to be going just behind the driver's seat on the bench seat. Get that ventilation in. So last night's video went live, few comments about safety, so I thought let's address that first thing and just get that done and dusted. Okay, so in terms of the gas, I'm installing the gas. I've done plumbing on kitchens and bathrooms for over 10 years, so I'm very competent in plumbing. But it won't be commissioned until my mate, who's a gas safe engineer, is coming over and is going to certify it. So it's all going to get tested properly, it'll be certified, and that certificate will come with the van. The other one was the electrics. Now, I'm also a qualified electrician, did that about 8 years ago. I can tell you now, the electrics in this van are much more safer than I've seen in many a van. And again, it will be certified, so not to worry about that. As mentioned in previous videos, we're going to be putting gas drop vents in. I've actually got 4 of these. One comes with the gas locker, which will go in the gas locker. The gas locker is a sealed unit, so no gas can escape that whatsoever, and you're going to have one of these in the bottom of it, so that's going to be completely safe, and again will be checked over by the gas engineer. And then these 3 I'm going to be doing, one is going in the bench seat where the diesel heater is towards the front, and then at least one of these then will also go in the garage. So that's today's job. I want to get that kitchen done and dusted. I've got the worktop has arrived. I've got a 22mm oak to go on top of that. I Haven't ordered the hob or the sink. We've had a big delivery from Dodo for our next fan. That's the old gas boiler. The Truma one that I bought said it's not going to work with this fan, so that's actually being picked up tomorrow. That's going back, and I'm going to be putting in a 12 volt water heater, 10 litre capacity. Again, need to order that. Other than that, this fan is looking pretty good. Let's see what we got up to yesterday. The shower's been fully sealed and the riser kit is all installed. That's all ready. I'm getting some plastic L trim that's going to go around here, cover that up, and then we're going to be putting just inside here a shower curtain pole across, and that's just going to be a shower curtain. We've done the slats for the bed, and I've also done, let's move these out the way, I've also done the end panels that are making up the inside of this cupboard, because I've got the shelf for the oven, the step drawer box on the bottom, which is just hiding down there, and then we've got the drawer box to build up here. But before I can do any of that, what I need to do first thing this morning is get the hot and cold pipe to run across the back into the sink unit, and also get 2 gas pipes up, one for the oven and then one up top for the hob. So that's this morning's job, and when that's done, I'm starting to run out of things to do. I've still got the B-pillar to do and the side loading door, so I think either today, see how much time we've got, if not tomorrow. And we're not a million miles away. I'm still waiting for the undermount water kit, so I've messaged them this morning to see where they are, because they're taking their time arriving. Got my trusty multi-tool, got my pipes, got a bunch of fittings down there. I also give the workshop a good clean just before I sort of finished off yesterday. Let's get on, let's get this done, guys. Okay, so just coming up lunchtime and we have some headway on what we've done. I've done the bottom pull out step, and then you got some storage in there. I had to put this centerpiece in there for extra support, because obviously people are going to be using this as a step, but still gives plenty of storage in there. I've got the oven. I still need to replace the smashed glass door, but that's in, it's just dry fitted a minute. I've also done the drawer box here. I've taken it out, which is just here, as we are now on the worktops. Now, I know I've not done a bit of a tutorial on the drawers because I gotta leave some content for the future, but I'll give you a quick brief on how you do it. So when doing a drawer box, the first thing you need it to know is the full width of your rails combined, and that's also with the other part that goes on the drawer box in here. So these are 12.5mm wide each. So I take your total opening minus the 25mm, and I'd probably take another mil or 2 off, and then that will be the width of your drawer box. And then height, you don't want to go full height. I tend to leave a good 15mm top and bottom, just so you got some playroom, and that's your height. And then obviously the depth is easy enough to work out. But like I said, I will do a more detailed video in the future on how to do drawer boxes, because they are a little bit tricky. But like I said, I gotta leave some content for the future, guys. I can't do it all in this fan. So the next job is the oak worktop. I've cut it to length, a little bit oversized, and I've also cut it to depth because they come at 635, and I've just taken this to 550. What I'll do now is I'll take it in, I'll scribe the back. Once that's all nice and I'm happy with that, I will then cut the front, and then we got some other bits to do on it to make sure it's prepped ready for installation. Right, so what I've done with the worktop is I've cut it deliberately about 100mm over on the length, because I want to make sure I can scribe it into any end panels and also the end this side. But I've also got to scribe the back because obviously there are curves in the van. So what I've done is I've squared it to the front. So I'm 15mm too far forward on the front. Okay, I'm going to have a 30mm overhang on the front. So what I'll do is set my scribing tool to 15mm. We've got a bigger gap down here and we're touching here. So we're going to scribe this section, allow this section here to go that way 15mm, and then I'll look at the overhang on the back, and that will also get trimmed as well. And there is this my scribe, so we'll go cut that out in a second. But something else that just arrived. Now, I don't know if I was being smart here or if this is actually a done thing in the camping world, but the light for the bathroom is finally here, and what I actually did was fit an awning light. Comes IP rated, so I don't know if I was being smart there or that is a normal thing to do, but it does definitely do a good job. Anyway, back to the worktop. Let's get this scribe done. So I don't know if you can just see my pencil line. That was my scribe for that back. That'll get it nice and tight up to where the tongue and groove section is, and then I know the overhang on the back panel is going to be too much, so we'll cut that as well, but I can do a nice straight cut on that with the track saw. And that is that cut out. Now, a couple of things to remember when you're working with oak. Okay, oak is a hardwood, and you also get, believe it or not, different densities of the oak. So you could be cutting through like a block like this, because it's made up of several pieces of oak. You could go through part of it and it feel quite soft, and then all of a sudden it feels really hard. If you're using a jigsaw, don't push that jigsaw. Let the jigsaw cut it. You'll get a much cleaner cut and make a lot less work for yourself. And also, if you're cutting it with a circular saw or a track saw, don't try and cut it in one go. 22mm oak is too thick. Do it in 2 10mm passes, or even 3 passes, and make your way gently through it. And again, you get a cleaner cut. You're not going to burn your motor or your blade out. So we're going to take this back up, just check that, and then we'll check the overhang on the back edge and also on this end. We'll do some markings underneath, and then I'll bring it back in here, and on the back and side I'll probably go for either a 10 or a 15mm overhang. Okay, so that's in. As you can see, nice lines all the way up. I got 2 more things I need to do with this before it can be dry fitted. One of them I've already done, and the first is put a drip edge on. So that goes all along the front of the worktop, about 3-4mm in, and that's just if any water does make its way underneath, it'll drip at that point. It won't keep going backwards and into your cupboards, and even worse, into the ply frames. Now, the second thing we got to do, and a lot of people don't realise this, we've actually got to oil the underneath of this. So I'm going with a good old classic, no nonsense, Danish oil. I'll do 3 coats on this, letting it dry between each coat, and we'll do the edges and tops later on. I'll also either do a bullnose or a chamfer on the top of the worktop. I prefer a chamfer, so I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. I do like a freshly oiled oak worktop, absolutely beautiful. I did put the little chamfer on. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. We'll dry fit this, and I'm just going to leave that be. I still need to order the hob and the sink, so that is something I really need to get on with this afternoon. So I think I need to order them, the oven door. Let's get that done, and then I'm going to do that piece on the side of the shower. But for today, yeah, it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to call it a day today. Just drop this into the van so it's out of the way and safe. I'll pick you up on the next video tomorrow morning, guys.